If you guys have been watching the channel lately, you'll know that I've spent a lot of time modifying and working on this G80 M3. As a matter of fact, if you look at my channel, most if not all my recent uploads are about the M3. So much so that if you guys are new to the channel, you probably don't even realize I have other cars on this channel, like 3 more cars. So in today's video, I'm gonna talk to you guys about those cars, about the plans for them, and as a matter of fact, one of those cars in particular is going to be getting replaced and might be gone already. So although the M3 is in the driveway right now, we're actually not going to start off with this car because you guys have seen it so often lately that I kind of want to focus on the other cars, but we'll come back to the M3 later. So here is the first cars. If you guys are OGs on this channel, you'll know and love this car because this is actually the car that I literally started this YouTube channel with. So this is what used to be my 2015 BMW 435. That does mean it has the N55, which is probably the best sounding 6-cylinder BMW ever made. And now I say it used to be mine because if you guys didn't know, like I said in the beginning, I started my YouTube channel with this car, but eventually I sold it. Now obviously it's still here and I can still drive it and all that type of stuff. That's because I sold this car to my brother, but since he bought it, he kind of left it as is. So the car is currently sitting on KW V1 coilovers. It also has these beautiful variant wheels. Something we recently did to it was actually install this GTS style front lip, which looks absolutely amazing. So if you guys saw that front lip video, I mentioned in that video that our goal is to make this 435 into a 435 GTS inspired on the M4 GTS. Since this thing already has some stuff from the GTS, like the taillights and now the front lip, we're only going to take it further and make it more like a 435 GTS. Now, how quickly is that going to happen? I really don't know, guys. At the end of the day, it's not my car anymore, so it's really up to my brother and how fast he wants to mod this car. But whenever he does, we're going to make a video about every single mod on this car. That way you guys can watch the build and watch the 435 GTS evolution. So before we move on to the other cars, maybe just really quickly, some of the high level stuff I did was a black roof wrap right over here. I also did some carbon fiber bits like on the mirror cap. And then also back here on the diffuser, I also have some BMS exhaust tips and of course those beautiful GTS taillights like I mentioned before. And in terms of engine bay, this car has a few mods, nothing too crazy. It actually was one stage 2 when I owned it, but since then we took off the catalyst downpipe and we went down to just stage 1 for my brother. So as you guys can see, it has a BMS intake. It also has a VRSF charge pipe down there and a VRSF intercooler. We also have a strut brace right over here and then a few little engine bay goodies all throughout. So definitely nothing crazy, but this car definitely was fun to drive at its prime. So in summary, the 435 is still going to be on the channel. Of course, it's not my car anymore, so we can't go crazy on it, but we'll still make some videos on it, and I still want to make it into a 435 GTS. So you guys definitely still have that to look forward to. But with that said, let's move on to the next car. So this car, I'm sure if you guys watch my channel within like the last year or so, you guys have seen it a lot because it has been like the main focus of my channel for a pretty long time. So this here is my 2017 BMW 330i. That does mean it has the B48. Yes, guys, it is a 4-cylinder BMW, something that a lot of people tend to hate on, but I absolutely love this car. Now, if you guys are new to this channel, this car started its life as a base model, but as you guys can tell, I did convert it to an M Sport, and then on top of that, I did a whole bunch of stuff to it. So I have like a carbon fiber diffuser, a dual 340i exhaust on the back over here, so it looks like a 340, but I promise you guys this is definitely a 330i. I also have some carbon fiber splitters. I have some beautiful Apex Arc 8 style wheels. Of course, on the side we continue the M Sport conversion, also some carbon fiber side skirts, and then on the front again, guys, we completed the M Sport conversion. I have a beautiful Vara style front lip, and then other than that, guys, I have a whole bunch of details around the car, like these beautiful blacked out emblems over here, also some red crossbars, carbon style mirror caps, of course, and then in the interior, I actually did a lot to this car. So you guys can tell this does have red seats similar to the 435. But other than that, I did a custom carbon fiber and Alcantara interior. You guys can see it on the shifter, on the e-brake, on the steering wheel. And then I also did the 6WB digital clusters. So honestly, guys, I kind of did a lot to the interior of this car, and I don't tend to do that a lot. Like on the 435, the interior was pretty much stock. I didn't do anything other than like some paddle shifters and then maybe some different floor mats, but otherwise it was completely stock. Whereas this car, the interior feels completely different, from like the trim to the steering wheel to the cluster. And remember guys, this started its life as a base model, so I had the base model steering wheel, then I went to an M Sport steering wheel, then I went to this custom steering wheel. So I definitely did a lot to this car in terms of interior and also exterior too, because again, it started its life as a base model and I did the entire M Sport conversion, and that in itself was a process, getting it painted, installing it, and then on top of that, modifying that M Sport kit with like lips and diffusers and dual exhaust. Now in terms of performance, I didn't go crazy because again, it is a 4-cylinder, so I never really felt like I could or should. I'd be lying if I said I never thought about going like stage 2 on this car or doing a big turbo. But at the end of the day guys, I kind of just thought like, this is a 4-cylinder, it's a great daily driver, and I kind of don't want to ruin that. Although I still did do a few things to the engine bay, like a BMS intake right over here, an oil catch can. I also have a keys charge pipe right in there, and then I also have a boot mod stage 1 tune, which gets you a decent amount of power, but it's still not that fast. Like I kind of alluded to before, this is my daily driver, so I did want to keep the car practical, hence why I did certain things like not lower it. I also put a squared 18-inch wheel setup on the car rather than like staggered wheels like on the 435. I didn't go too crazy in terms of performance. Like overall, this car looks really good. It feels really nice in terms of the interior, but it's still really practical. It's good on gas, and it's just overall a great daily driver. Now, in terms of future plans, there isn't much on this car either, but I do have some things for it, some of which are actually already here. So I just mentioned how I never lowered this car. However guys, that's gonna change. So I do have some lowering springs for this car, although I like the ride height because right now I don't have to really stress about the car. I can drive it anywhere. I can pull into driveways or parking lots and I'm totally fine. I don't have to think twice about it. But I do think the car can use a little more low, especially in the front. You guys can see how crazy that wheel gap is. So I think lowering springs, just lowering it just a tad bit, is gonna be perfect. After that, guys, I think this car is gonna be complete. And now if you guys know me, you know that I can't have a car and not modify it. It's just what I like to do, it's what I enjoy. So with the F30 kind of being done, that means that we have to get something in its place, maybe like a 5 Series, a 550. That would be really cool, but that's not gonna happen right away, guys. But it's definitely gonna happen in the future. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys would like to see me replace the 330i with. Something that's practical and that's still fun for the channel and fun to modify. Now you guys are probably thinking that car that I mentioned in the beginning of the video that I'm gonna be replacing is the F30. Well, that's actually not the case, guys. So before I explain any further, let's just get the M3 back in the driveway. I'll talk about the M3 a little bit and then we'll get into that car that I mentioned before. So full circle back to the G80 M3, the current Halo car on the channel, and by far the sickest car that I have ever owned. So I'm sure you guys know this car very well because I've been filming this car a lot lately, but if you don't, this is a 2023 G80 M3 competition with X-Drive, and as you guys can tell, it is not stock. I've literally been working on this car every single weekend. We've been modifying it, we've been doing stuff to it, and this car looks totally different than the day I bought it only like 2 months ago. If you guys haven't been watching those videos, I did a whole bunch of stuff to the rear end, to the side, to the front end, even the engine bay, and I even did some PPF and window tints. So if you guys want to see more about the mods on this car in detail, I would highly recommend watching those recent videos, but hopefully that gives you a general idea of what I've done to this car so far in only 2 months. Now, in terms of future plans, there is a lot. I pretty much just got this car and I still have a lot more that I want to do to it, so definitely stay tuned, guys, because we're gonna be going crazy with this car. But I think I'm gonna leave it at that for the M3 because like I said, I've been filming it so much, so you guys are so familiar with this car already, so no need to really update you guys. But the car that I really want to update you guys on is the one that we haven't talked about yet. Now, if you guys know my channel, you'll know what car it is. That's right, guys, it is my 2018 BMW X3 M40i. That car is gone. I've owned it for about 2 years. I've done everything that I wanted to it, and it's officially gone, guys. But the good news is it is gonna get replaced. So I am currently car shopping for a So I'm gonna try to hide inside the car for a little bit because it is Sunday and everyone's cutting their grass. But anyways, guys, the X3 is gone. Now, if you want to know exactly what happened to the X3, I'm actually thinking about starting a second channel where I can maybe be a little more candid with you guys. I want this channel to be more upbeat, fast-paced, and really about like modifying these cars and stuff like that. So I was thinking about starting a second channel where I can give you guys a little more behind the scenes, where we can talk about like car news. Maybe I don't have to edit the videos as much, but anyways, the point is for now, the X3 is gone, but we are currently car shopping for a replacement. Now, a few cars that I'm thinking about getting is like an X3M, maybe an X5 M50. So we definitely want to upgrade the car, but what do we get exactly? I don't know yet. So I know there's a lot of X3 owners who like this channel because I make videos about the X3. I'm sorry guys, the X3 is officially gone. But like I said, we're gonna be getting a replacement, hopefully something even better. So definitely stay tuned for that. But anyways guys, hopefully this video gave you a good idea of what cars are on the channel, what you can expect out of the cars and out of the channel. So if you're not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more videos because we're only gonna go up from here. But anyways, with that said guys, this video is pretty much done and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.